All right. Welcome to Bad Calls, formerly Tennis Sucks.
Welcome to Bad Calls.
You excited
Sounds
about
nice.
the new name, guys? Officially?
I really am. Yeah.
I feel like I'll add Tennis Sucks as a formally for a little bit as we have a transition, but Bad Calls official.
Yeah. I mean, like you're having lessons. Graham loves the game. You know, like we have to adjust. I watch and gamble on it almost daily now.
There you go. Graham,
So?
you told me that you had a really good match recently in tennis and you beat someone who was pretty good.
But I played a 3-5 person who claims they win against 4-0s every once in a while. So maybe they're creeping towards 4-0.
Okay.
But it was someone about my age and it was a female.
Yep.
And I was told that unlike Duper, they're not quite like equivalent.
Oh. So a female 3-5 could be like a male 3-0?
I think that's right. He asked me that, but I don't know this stuff for sure. But
Chris told me that. He's like, it's not quite the same.
I think that's right. But I never got into like the adults leagues levels. It wasn't something I was very knowledgeable about. But I would wager that, yeah, probably a dude 3-5 is a fair bit better than a girl 3-5.
But I think this person is now going to quit tennis because I won 12 straight games.
Whoa. 12 straight games or points?
6-0, 6-0.
Holy shit. You played a full match? That's embarrassing. How's that even possible? This person plays tennis?
Like a lot.
No.
Once or twice a day.
No, stop it.
I swear to you.
And they should have themselves checked. Can't have all the cards or body functions are inappropriate. It's not possible.
Oh, no. Very fit person.
I feel bad for them then.
Mobile.
Imagine being that untalented.
Damn.
Or maybe
I bet you her coach says she's a natural.
Maybe you're looking at this the wrong way. Maybe you should be saying, you can't believe that I'm that good.
I've always said you're gifted in the hand-eye, but if she actually plays like is being claimed, then she should kill you.
And I only missed one. I only double faulted once. I was hitting the serves very, yeah.
Well, that's normal. In the
I was
beginning, you
lollipopping.
lollipop it, yeah. Frying pan lollipop.
I was frying pan lollipopping.
That's awesome. So we do have one update from last week. Last week we talked about, Travis, you had challenged Liz Trillick's paddle. Actually, you challenged, well,
I challenge everybody.
you challenged everything.
Yeah.
But there was one official paddle challenge.
Well, I challenged 3 paddles total, but there was one that was tested.
Right. And why don't you tell us like how that came back?
I don't think it was, I wish I had the exact metric, but I would wager that it was not close. So yes, it failed. I do feel bad the fact that she has to now pay $2,500.
You think they'll make her?
Yes. I think they have to set that standard.
Yeah.
But I also think they need to, I talked to Zane about this today. They need to increase the deterrent. Like if you're caught doing this and there's any potential that you're doing it on purpose because it's the 64, like, second time you're out for 4 events or 5 events.
They should do that.
Yeah. Because it's such it just ruins the integrity of the match. So yeah, her paddle failed. She loses the points and she pays $2,500. But
does her partner also lose the points?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Do you get the points back?
No.
Just nobody
We
gets
get
them?
nothing, yeah.
All right.
So,
I think that makes sense. But yeah, I think a second or third punishment should be you can't play because some people might have sponsors be able to just pay that and do it on purpose.
Yeah, that's what we were saying is you could be really wealthy too and be like, I don't really care. I'm going to play with this paddle in the round 64 every time.
Yeah.
So, particularly in mix where you're trying to like body up the girl and get a relatively weak reply when the reply is coming back, faster than decal hits, it's like, shit. All right. It changes things. So, yeah, I hopefully they'll have testing now on site for round 64 and this isn't an issue.
Yeah. Do you think that this first challenge will maybe make some players think differently about going into these matches with illegal paddles?
Is this the first challenge ever? It
Yes.
can't be.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the first ever to challenge?
Ever and certainly the first to like come back. But I think I was the first one.
Wow.
To challenge even, yeah.
You're going to just keep doing that?
I mean, I hope
Only
I
if
don't
it's
have
egregious?
to. But if I can see it and I'm very, very obvious, like it's very clear to me, then yeah, fuck, of course. Because, again, I think it's like, if you're playing, that's the thing it pisses me off about it. It's like, and that's what I said during the match was like, this is cheating. However you want to describe it, you are cheating. You are not playing within the rules and you know it. So yeah, if it's really, really bad, and it's like the ball, I can hear the ball from miles away. Zane said he was walking by like a court away and heard and was like, oh shit, who's that? And then walked up and was like, oh, someone's playing full D-Lam here.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So no, do I want to risk $1,000 every time? But I don't think I'll have to. I think they'll change it pretty quickly.
Yeah, makes sense.
I was actually impressed. Travis and I did a little bit of like testing on paddles, maybe like, I don't know, 16 paddles or so. And they had very, very minuscule differences between them. Like I'm talking a millimeter cell size difference, or maybe a 1/2 inch of one cell of foam, like things that I would think would be minuscule. And he could tell me every paddle, like softer, harder, like what it was supposed to be. Every single one of all 16 with the smallest change possible. I could not believe it.
Wow.
It's really not. It's really not hard.
That's
They
that's
were
just a
very,
big
very,
deal in manufacturing of paddles, because if your
sure.
company's not paying attention,
Of course.
that's manufacturing
So
that
different.
paddle and makes a millimeter mistake or puts in a 1/4 inch less foam than it's supposed to be the paddle next to it, and you can feel that difference. That's wild to me.
And they're extreme differences.
Extreme.
And these were new paddles.
Brand
just
new, out of the box.
It's just a bunch of, let's call them prototypes.
Yeah.
To prepare for changing in parameters.
Yep.
I was just trying to see, like, okay, if I change this slightly or this slightly, can you tell the difference? And every single one, 16 in a row of blank paddles, he could tell me exactly, like, this should be softer, this should be, this is firmer, 1 through 16, and got them all perfect.
Wow. How many times do you have to hit the ball to feel that?
Sometimes once.
Really?
Yeah, like I can feed it sometimes, or I hit a drop. It's like, oh, there it is. Yep,
There's no more than 3 or 4 hits.
Wow.
And he could tell.
Wow.
Wild.
That's crazy. And that's just like, what, the amount of foam and stuff that you put in
A couple
it?
of small things. Cell size is one, foam is one, but very small changes.
Right. That's interesting. Yeah.
Like on an X-ray, if I showed you 2 X-rays, you'd be like, I can't really tell the difference between those two paddles. But Travis can tell you the hit immediately.
Yeah, that's wild. Interesting. So yeah, speaking of new paddles, I hear there's a new paddle, the new Adidas paddle. What do you know about that? Is that you, Trav?
I've just been, I watched the Desert Smash thing with Federico and Kyrgios, and I saw that he was holding a new one that, body shape, all the things look like his previous paddle. So I wouldn't, I didn't hear it. I just was like watching a little video where there was no sound, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was almost a carbon copy.
Carbon copy
of the Yola that he played with prior. I think he probably just after the one event, obviously then went back to the Yola and was like, look, I have to have something like this, or I can't play. And so my guess is that they just probably broke it open and made a few minor adjustments and probably have something very comparable.
Yeah.
The funny thing about that is it take me 3 months to get that paddle approved. Adidas will probably have it approved like the next day they bring it. They're like, hey, and they're like, yeah, Adidas, you're in.
Yeah, it depends on that payout. I mean, who knows? If they're sponsoring the tour, I think they'll get preferential treatment.
Or that it's Federico's paddle.
I don't know. Maybe.
Approved.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, I didn't get to see. I haven't seen any footage of Kyrgios playing. Is that footage out there? Do you think?
Yeah. It was on his story, and I think Matt Manassi's story. Matt was hosting, I think, Desert Smash, and Naomi Osaka was playing as well, who did not look good at all. Well, I mean, she has like such. It's one of those things where no skills transfer. She's all.
Do you
power.
like Naomi Osaka?
Sure. I mean, I don't have any feelings towards.
Oh, really?
Her. No, I respect her as a player. Like she's a really good player, but
she seems to be nice.
Sure. I've never said a word to her, so I have no indication of if she's a nice person.
I mean, like in
not.
interviews and stuff.
Yeah, she seems fine, but she was not a good pickleball player. I watched her hit a ball, like literally run up and smack it over the fence almost. And then Kyrgios looks like he's played a fair bit. Federico made the claim that he would beat him within 3 months, which I do not obviously believe. I don't think he believes that, but he said he was very good. So maybe we'll see him. Who knows? While he's winding down, he'll do the jack thing.
Does Kyrgios' tennis style match what your prediction for how the good version that transfers?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's got great hands.
He's a lefty?
No, he's righty, but super creative. Backhand technique would probably be ideal for it. Really short, compact. He could probably roll an angle, no problem. And then he's just got great hands. He's long. He's athletic.
Yeah,
sure. He'd be fantastic.
How old is he now, though?
I have no idea.
30s?
30, probably 30. I think he's probably 30.
Oh,
yeah. I think it was his wrist that goes, which happens in tennis a lot because it's just so much fucking wear and tear on that thing. Swinging a mallet, and the ball is obviously much harder than the wiffle ball. So a lot of guys' wrists, elbows, shoulders start to go in their 30s.
Gotcha. Yeah, interesting. Does he? I got the impression. I don't think that he was ever interested in making a transition into pickleball.
No, I don't think that's in the cards.
Yeah,
I think he has no intention. And then he's got and so many opportunities in the tennis world still with
Right.
commentating and events and so forth. He'll do just fine.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, cool. So yeah, I guess we can talk about the draft. So, why don't you start, Graham, with talking about the smash? How did it go? Like, how was the feeling in the war room if you had one?
We got our top 2 picks.
Yep. Who are?
So we're obviously happy. You can't do any better than getting the 2 people you wanted.
Yep.
So that happened. We spent some money on them, about what we expected to spend on them.
Yep.
I think. And we're happy with who we got.
Yeah. So who did you?
Those,
Who did
those
you
were our
pick up?
top 2 picks.
Yeah.
In what regard? If we had not bought the first pick, you're saying?
No, if we had bought the first pick, we still would have gone with those 2 picks.
As opposed to AJ Kohler.
AJ Kohler's still there. We can still have gotten him. AJ Kohler did not get picked up in Challenger.
Okay. Now I remember the reasoning why. Yes, got it.
Yeah, because we're focusing on all Florida team, meaning the players all live in Florida.
Yep.
And somebody that's going to be very active with events outside of MLP events. And both these players agreed to do that,
Right.
which we're very thankful for. So you're going to see a lot of them around Tampa. You're going to see them at nice, fun events around Florida.
Yep.
And, so they're willing to do extras to be a part of the team, and they're Florida based. And
You haven't said their names yet.
Yeah.
oh,
That's okay.
why don't you
It's
jump
just
in?
funny. It was like this obscure thing like we're not supposed to say. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's online.
Yeah, I
So,
can't
sorry.
say.
Yeah,
So
so
we
it's
picked-
Casey
we picked up
Campbell,
Casey
which
Campbell,
we're
yeah.
very happy about. The kid with the hat.
Kid with
Super
the
good
hat.
singles player. Good singles player. He needs to improve in doubles, but
I
the
hear
last
he's getting
event,
better in doubles,
He
right?
won a game off Ben and Gabe, so he's obviously has all the skills. So it wasn't a knock on him to say AJ. AJ's a little bit more established. But yeah, he's young, lives in Florida, works really hard. And then the female was Sarah Ansberry, who has a really good teaching following background in the area and has obviously played forever and had results forever.
And lives in Tampa now.
Right.
Lives in Tampa Bay. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
Yeah,
She moved here like in May.
Yes, I know.
a
I told
while
you
ago.
guys.
Oh, I didn't know that long ago. I knew she had moved here, but I didn't know
I knew ever since Atlanta MLP. I
Wow.
think. Yeah, I think she'd mentioned it on commentating at one point, and I was like, "Hey, Ansbury's in town."
Yeah.
but I've never seen her around. I don't know
She
where she
goes
trains.
to Tampa Bay Pickleball Crew
Okay, got it.
to teach
To teach?
every once in a while, and then she works out of near Saddlebrook for
Okay.
PPR,
Got
from what
it.
I understand. Hopefully, I got that right, Sarah.
And she's had some great wins in the past year.
That's another reason we went back to the film, right? Got our assignment to the film, and we saw her have some monster matches against Rachel Rohrbacher.
Dominates her.
When?
Dominates Rachel
In
Rohrbacher.
I don't
PPA?
remember when she beat her the first time, but I think she beat her twice. But North Carolina last year, she and I forget
Oh.
Sarah's partner beat Anna Bright
That's
and
right.
Rachel.
Yes, I remember that now.
Tore Rachel up.
So we
Love you, Rachel.
grabbed Sarah now, so that when we move up to Premier next year, and we have to face Rachel Rohrbacher or Anna Bright,
We got the kryptonite.
we've got their kryptonite.
Right. Yeah,
So look out.
got it. So, do you
She's
do
gonna
you
love
envision?
that. I'm practicing with Rachel tomorrow. I can't wait to tell her. But hey, make sure you listen to the pod this week.
So, do you envision Trav playing with Martina, or do you think you might try playing with Sarah?
You're always asking this question. Travis is impulsive. Travis doesn't think
That's very
about
true.
what he's going to do on May 22nd in Austin, Texas. He will think about that on May 22nd in
No,
Austin,
I
Texas.
have an idea, but that could change drastically.
Okay, let's do this. What do you think the pros of playing with Sarah would be over playing with Martina?
Error counts lower. She's
Sure.
very steady, very good dinker.
Yep.
But Martina's a lot more forceful.
Yep.
And Travis, I think big part is Travis want to play left or right?
Mixed, I'm going to play left every time,
Okay.
every single time. I want to play right and mixed.
I would think that I would put you with Sarah would be my
Yeah,
take.
that's my initial take too.
Oh,
to be
really?
with Sarah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying
Oh,
when
you
we
would?
talk about it. Yeah,
and then Kaysen and Martina.
Yep. yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think they're more of a wild card, but if they're hot, they're going to be really good. And if Sarah, I think Sarah's going to be steady Eddie, and it kind of allows me to take a little more court. We're
Yeah.
fine. She's good
That
in
makes
mixed,
sense.
dude. She doesn't miss a lot of things.
Yeah.
So is it 4 teams in Challenger right now?
6.
6. Okay, so out of the other
Crazy.
Challenger teams, I think there's one which actually ended up having a very strong roster. which was
There's a couple of decent rosters.
I think there's 2 teams that are like,
Two,
holy
yeah.
shit, they could beat a lot of premier teams now.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you want to? Which ones do you feel like
One.
the
Oh.
Grants?
Brooklyn Aces and then the Las Vegas Night Owls. Both those teams were very good.
Right. So the
They're
Ace,
like premier level, those
Right.
2 teams. in
the
our
Brooklyn
opinion.
Aces,
Okay.
Andrea Koop, Mari Humberg, Daniel De La Rosa, and Stephen Auvergne. Auvergne.
Stefan
Stefan
Auburn.
Auburn.
Stefan
Yeah.
Auvergne.
Solid.
That would beat a lot of the premier teams, I think.
Solid
I should
team.
say a lot, but several of them.
And then which was the other one that had a good team?
The Night Owls, which was Zoe Wang, Brooke Buckner,
Tejas
Pablo Tejas.
Pablo Tejas,
and
then
James Delgado.
James
Yeah.
Delgado.
I don't know much about James Delgado. Do you?
He lives near the pickleball combat guys. He's very
Hmm.
athletic, young kid, hits the shit out of the ball. Like probably could get good.
Okay.
Otherwise, looking at the rosters on Challenger, do you feel like you have a decent shot of being competitive with them?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
I think we have a very good shot.
You saw us stroke Miami last year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we just got to put a little incentive on it.
so we can beat any of these teams.
Yeah, we'll be fine. It's going to be interesting. I watch the 6 teams kind of duel it out back and forth and back and forth. There's going to be so many matches. It should get really interesting.
22.
Yeah, just playing kind of the same people over and over and over.
Yeah.
As a player, it's going to be compelling because you're going to have so much history with them
Yeah.
time and time and time again.
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't think about that. You're gonna get a lot of reps.
A lot of reps, a lot
Huh.
of reads on their tactics and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder.
you're going to play them each 6 to 7 times. Is that right? No, 5 to 6. Sorry,
4 to 5.
4 to 5 times each.
Right.
How about the premiere though? Let's start
Yes.
with that.
We can switch to
So
Premiere.
let's discuss like this really quick. Because of the way that the drafting was done and the alteration of the rules with 6 players on a team, and then some contractual obligations from some players to remain on Challenger, like Tejas is a good example. Tejas will be on a Challenger squad, and some players who haven't had a ton of success in PPAs in doubles will be in the starting 4. There was some women in the starting 4 that I had never heard of, and they were drafted because of that 6. So it's kind of interesting. It's like some really bizarre lineups that you wouldn't think when you think Premier. Donald, for example, Donald on the Hustlers, which is him, Zane Ford, Helena Spiritus, and Dominique Schaefer as like the starting 4. And I think that would have been probably 3 of those not drafted to Challenger had it been the same. So it's like, it's just surprising. It's like, it's a different ball game right now. You're kind of waiting, I guess, for, in a sense, another year, before things kind of even out. Maybe there's a few more players that come into the fray. And obviously that's because some players didn't sign a contract that were there last year that are playing either the Indian League or APPs or whatever it may be. And yeah, it's bizarre, some of the teams. But then there's some really, really good fucking teams. Like the Shock are the same.
And Dallas.
And Dallas. They're going to be very, very good.
Got us hit in the eye from his own partner
I didn't see it.
in the purple shorts.
Oh, damn. That's not good.
So I think that we talked about the fact that having these 6 and 7 fifth and sixth roster players would drain a lot of the quality talent out of the league. But then on the flip side, the league had decided that they would allow this the stealing of players at the waiver periods, right?
Yeah.
To try and maximize the good players being on the court. But actually, I think what was surprising is that the level of players, even within the 4 rosters, was actually not amazing either.
Yeah, I think that the 5 and I feel like it affected Premier more than it affected Challenger, because there were still very solid players, especially on the male side, I would say more so, available in Challenger.
Right.
Like, think of people who didn't get picked up. Spencer Smith, solid Challenger player, right?
Yeah.
AJ Kohler, obviously a very solid player. There was a handful of guys that aren't even playing Challenger.
Right.
Men that are sitting there. And then you've got some guys up in Premier that maybe shouldn't be there yet. They haven't proven themselves.
Right. Yes.
It's going to be interesting. That's
Very
for sure.
odd.
I mean, hopefully some of the matches don't have like crazy disparity, but they're going to.
Yeah.
There's going to be some 11-0s, 11-1s.
And there's
in
going to be a
Premier
ton
doubles.
of trading.
Yeah, of course. It's
A
going
ton.
to be the Wild West, And then it's just for some players who are as good as, let's say, a Brooke Buckner. She obviously is a Premier level player, has been. and she'll be on Challenger because of her contract. But that's just for one more year, and then everybody's the same.
Yeah.
So the Chicago Slice, actually, I think, which is a kind of interesting story. They were the Challenger team that got bumped up to Premier and actually spent a good amount of money on their team and built a very solid team, considering they had to go from 0 to 6, really.
Who was the squad? I'm not familiar.
So that is James Ignatowicz, Vivian David, Max Freeman, Callie Smith,
Very good team.
Perina Imperato, and Carlos Di Laura.
Yeah, it's a great team.
Yeah.
Wasn't Carlos like their coach or their
he was the
GM?
coach
He was the coach
Yeah.
last year.
He's a good player though. He plays at the lab with Ryan Darwidjian in Austin, and I've played against him a few times. He's very good, particularly on the right. Plays all the time, obviously, with those guys, Deckel, Julian Arnold, Zane. So he's very capable. His wife got drafted as well, who I think was drafted to Premier, if I recall, and was a good player at Texas Tech tennis, but was like just sliding into the pickleball world. But
who picked her up? The Ranchers, probably.
I don't remember.
Ranchers alternate.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So who would you place your bets on with current 4 starters roster in the Premier level?
Dallas and Shock again.
Yeah, Dallas and Shock, but there's some interesting teams. Like I think Phoenix is going to be really interesting with Jack and Riley Newman, and I forget who their women were, but that team's going to be interesting. You have it
Phoenix,
there?
yeah. Let's see. Phoenix had Megan Dizon, McGuffin, Jesse Irvine, and Jack Sock.
Yes. Okay. So who's Riley with? Riley was with.
He went over with Klinger.
He's with Deckel.
Oh,
no, he's with Deckel. Klinger's with Diescu.
Oh, that's right. Klinger and Diescu.
I mean, so all those are 3 very, very formidable
What's
men's
the Klinger
teams.
Diescu team? Columbus. What's their girls?
Let's see. Columbus, Diescu, Paris Todd, CJ Klinger, and Leah Jansen.
That's a great team too.
Yeah,
there's
but
some
still,
really...
St. Louis and Dallas are
they're
a step up.
They're a step up.
Yeah.
And they've got all the chemistry from last year.
Yep.
Yeah. Carolina Pickleball Club did a pretty bad job, I think.
Did they? I didn't see.
Ben Johns, Caitlin Christian, Colin Johns, Tammy Emmerich, Liz Trillick, and Brandon French. I just think they didn't really spend any money.
That's historical. They haven't though.
They
Other
never
than Ben,
have.
they paid a fortune for him, and then they didn't pay for anybody.
Yeah,
Right.
them and Utah have kind of always been that way.
Yeah.
Minus Ben. It's true.
Yeah, interesting.
I was thinking about Colin. Colin was, like a 4th rounder. They didn't pay a lot for him.
Right. It is interesting. I don't think that I've heard anyone talk about the fact that, Ben and Colin no longer play PPAs together, but they are still on the same MLP team together.
I thought about that today a little bit. I heard someone mention it. So
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It'll be cool to see them play again together.
Right.
Right.
And it'll probably motivate them to play
I agree.
MLP a little bit harder, at least the men's version of it.
Sure.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Probably will be a little more interested.
Yeah. Let's see.
Hopefully, he's motivated.
I heard that. The Dallas Flash, they did drop Olgi, but then they paid a lot of money just to pick him back up.
Same thing with St. Louis Shock.
Yeah.
They dropped Kate Fahey and went after her first pick to grab her.
Which
they were the first couple picks to get back their team, which is smart. That was a great investment by both of them.
Yeah.
For $120,000 and $100,000, like that's, if you got the money, that's a no-brainer to put that team back together.
Yeah. So that'll be. I feel like, they've got the team chemistry already there. They've got the experience. Like that's a pretty compelling argument for those to be top 2, top 3.
Yeah, they'll be right there again for sure.
If Hayden gets his game back.
The Fives, interestingly, drafted Jeannie Bouchard.
Yeah, that was interesting. And I think she was drafted ahead of like Vivian David, which obviously based on results is surprising. But, Graham, you want to take that one?
There's a rumor that there was already a trade planned to trade Bouchard for
I want to hear this rumor.
Yeah.
Little inside
haven't
info.
heard this at all.
Lukey poo.
Hold on.
By the way, Travis and I know nothing about this. This is from Luke's sources, which are very reputable.
Hopefully it's not a bad call, but odds are high.
The rumor is that they're going to trade for Megan Dizon.
They were always going to, or they are?
Well, apparently an Instagram post went up and then it quickly came down.
Okay.
Ooh.
And saying what? Like, give me the exact.
Megan Dizon trade for Jeannie Bouchard.
Okay.
What do you think?
Interesting.
I mean, hey, there could be a lot of sly deals going on here. People discussing cash and so forth. Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me.
I got no problem with Jeannie Bouchard now as a premier player.
No, she's a good player.
I mean, playing with Anna Lee, like she
And she's playing well in singles.
Yeah.
I think she made a semi or feel like she's.
I don't think there's
improving.
anything wrong with that pick. I wasn't like shocked or like what the heck just happened.
I was just shocked she went ahead of Vivian David. That's what, like, her on the board. So I was like, whoa, Vivian's, when she's playing well on the right, as good as anyone.
Yeah. Were you surprised Anderson Scarpa didn't get Premier?
Yes.
Oh, you were?
I was surprised he didn't get picked up early on, given all the other people that were taken. Yes, I was surprised.
Yeah.
I think
he was on our short list.
He's steady Eddie, man. Like, very good player.
Well hydrated.
Well hydrated, sweats a ton.
And nice as can be.
And tries his ass off.
Yeah, good team player.
Yeah, good team player. You can't argue the fact that whoever picked him up, they got a good deal.
Yeah.
Other players that got snubbed, that got picked up at the 5th or 6th player were Michael Lloyd, Eric Lang, Blaine Hovenier, and Roscoe Bellamy.
But they're all 5th, 6th on Premier, right?
Yeah, but think people that you might have expected to get picked up a little quicker.
No. I think that's kind of spot on.
Yeah. I don't see any.
Those make sense.
Any snubbers there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why? Who are you drooling over
he got
there
above him.
that you're putting in the 4 spot?
Let's see.
Who are you taking? I want to hear who you're taking out.
Name real quick. I don't know. Max Freeman, maybe?
Because Max and Ignatowicz are teammates, and Max has been playing great. So they train together. That makes complete sense.
Forward, like, very good in singles, obviously, but hasn't had the results in dubs.
Yeah.
So that was a surprising one, but his upside's high. So they're like, all right, let's take a shot.
Okay. What about Ryan Fu?
I mean, yeah, hasn't had the results yet. So could probably say, if I was in that spot, I would take Lloyd over Fu.
Okay, so are there any other surprises or interesting things reactions on the Premier draft?
I don't have any. Do you?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
All right, sweet. So I don't have too many good calls, bad calls, but we did make a bad call last week, which was that we thought that CJ Klinger's dad had a stake in the team.
Yes,
so.
Thank you for correcting me, Darren. He does not have a stake, although I thought he did. Guys like Ohio State, everything at all times. So I figured got something going on there. But nope, he just wrote me and said, hey, I have no stake in this. And it just happens to be that his son, who's maybe the best lefty player now, is, with Columbus.
And lives in the area?
Yeah, lives in the area. Grew up in the area also, where it's Ohio State, everything.
Got it. Other bad call is we refer to the tournament this week as in Coral Gables. That's actually not what the tournament is.
I was corrected on that numerous times yesterday. Actually, don't drive to the wrong place, Travis.
Yeah, that's 4 hours away.
Yep. I was like, well, it's a fucking Coral,
Yeah.
I'll be there.
We won't be in Coral Gables.
We're going to Cape Coral, guys. Don't worry.
Cape Coral. Perfect.
Now I'm confused again.
All right, here's a question. Good call or bad call. The UPAA just updated the headhunting rule already. So they
suspended it or something, right?
Huh?
Suspended it? What was that?
No, they've updated it. They just they revised it. So I think they were more explicit in calling it the headhunting rule, and they doubled the fine.
What?
So it's now $5,000 instead of $2,500.
That's a number.
The call actually is not going to be made by the on-court ref, but it's going to be made in video review after the match.
Does it have to actually hit someone's head to count as a headhunt?
That I'm not entirely sure about.
It's a great question.
We
need to dissect that a little more because, wow. And who's making that decision? You said in the review desk after. Is that a board of one person? Is it an opinion of 5 people? I would want to know who's making that.
It's the same people that make the other call, and then you can call to overturn from the head ref if you want.
Okay. I mean, I think that hopefully they're not going to call that ever unless it's like, the most obvious fucking gun at his face thing of all time.
Why did they change it? Did something happen?
I
there
think
weren't any bad calls. They got overturned, right?
Yeah, there was only one against Wyatt that I saw when Hayden hit, and he, initially Don called it, but it went off his shoulder. But again, even that ball, I didn't feel like that was.
Yeah, I didn't either.
It was just a speed up at the body. You got paddles like this; it's a part of it.
I think that they probably updated that rule because of the overturning. They were like, let's just wait until after to review the footage rather than have the on-court ref have to make that choice. But yeah.
I mean, I like the review after instead of the on-court ref, but again, I'd like to know more about who's who's making the final call there.
Sure.
It's a really tough call unless it's obvious as hell.
Yeah. And then good call, bad call. Caitlin Kerr, I guess, went on a little bit of a rant that you guys know about. I don't know about. Do you want to talk us through that? And then
A couple of times now I'm seeing. It's not just an isolated incident, but I know that she was on, it was the kitchen, right? Live feed?
Yeah, kitchen
So
live
the kitchen
feed
had a
during the
live
draft.
feed.
okay.
They were in Necker Island. So Jared Paul.
Yep. Was filming it with Roscoe. Was sitting there
Roscoe and Caitlin Kerr. And Caitlin made a comment basically just saying that the women that are being picked stink.
I think the comment she made was like that Ben won't try if he's has to play with the women selected or something of that nature. Which, hey, based on last year's performance, maybe that's the case. I couldn't tell you, but I think it was at least taken like they're so bad no one would want to play with them. And then like you can't argue the fact that there's more disparity in the women's game than the men's game. It just came off really harsh. And then
it was basically saying like, Tammy, you suck. I'm better than you. And it just is like, ugh. It was just it wasn't a great look.
Okay. So,
there's some people have been pissed. Like there's a lot of backlash online because Caitlin always does a good job of like advocating for women in sports and how they should have more prominent roles. And she's always done that very well. And so then it was just kind of like a double-edged sword in the sense she kind of went the other direction.
It was out of character.
It was out of character
for her.
I thought. And like there is more disparity on the women's side. Like there's not nearly as many good women as there are good men. And that will change with time, but it hasn't yet. And I think that's what she was trying to imply, which she's spot on about. But, again, it just came off harsh and then like people were showing videos of her playing. So like none of the international girls can play. They're all shit. They're terrible, suck at doubles. And then they showed like her losing like 11-0, 11-1 to the girls.
The girls she was calling out saying they're not good had posted duper. People posted their duper matches against Caitlin Kerr, and they were like double pickles. It's like, hey, why don't you get out?
Happy about
why don't you get out here and do this then?
And people were pissed.
Yeah, I guess it's tough to put yourself out there like that. Sometimes yeah,
it's tough because we're friends with Caitlin. We like Caitlin,
right.
So we obviously want the best for her. We like her. It was a surprising comment for me. It was like, oh shit, back that one off.
It's one of those you can think it but you can't say it type comments.
That's
what it felt like.
Interesting. Got it. And then this really isn't a bad call or a good call, but this was I guess just whether or not you saw it, but the pickleball slam happened. That was the one. I think it was in Vegas, and it was Agassi. Bouchard, Agassi's wife. I can't remember her name.
Steffi Graf.
There you go.
It's like saying I don't know.
I knew Steffi Graf.
And who else was playing in that match?
I don't remember who the fill-ins were.
The football guy that likes to play all the time, Ocho Cinco.
No, I don't think they were in there. I think
Shelby Bates was there.
But she didn't play. You're talking about a different thing.
Oh, I am.
That was the thing with in San Fran that Hayden and Gabe did with like Terrell Owens and
too many celebrity things going on.
Yeah, but the pickleball slam was like Agassi and Steffi versus Jeannie and Roddick, who Roddick always shits on pickle more than almost anybody. But
it was Roddick. Isn't McEnroe always? Oh, Roddick. Yeah, it was Roddick.
Yeah, I don't think McEnroe played in it at all.
No, he did it last year though.
Yeah,
didn't he?
Previous, yeah.
I like that guy.
And then. Yeah, he's fun to listen to. And then I think the Agassi Graf beat him. He and Roddick and Jeannie, which I think Agassi's very fucking good, so I don't think it's surprising. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the turnout was. I don't know the numbers, but they've done it now 3 years in a row. And I think the one year they had like 650,000 spectators, or sorry, viewers online. Or viewers on TV.
Wow.
So, hopefully they're fucking killing it again.
Yeah. Do you find those entertaining, those kind of matches with the celebrities?
Not me.
No?
I don't know the celebrities, so.
Sure.
Not really. I mean, like I did that one because it's, a childhood hero.
Sure.
And his wife who, won the Golden Slam, which means Olympics and all 4 Grand Slams in a singular year. Like she was top, she's like top 3 greatest females of all time. So yeah, that was compelling. And then I wanted to see, Andy play, Roddick play a little bit and see how good he was. But you can tell Andre's playing all the time. So that one, yes. If it's standard celebrities that are like a 3-0 and 3-5, no, I have no interest.
That's the best version of it is former great tennis players.
Right. And see if they can adapt and like actually be
It'd
pretty
be
good.
neat if they did top ping pong versus top tennis players
That'd be
that
fucking
aren't
cool.
pros.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, speaking of, I think that guy I posted about him, the Utah guy who got drafted,
Yeah.
the soft tennis
Yes.
Japanese guy, I think he's gonna be fucking good.
That's what people were saying.
I think
He didn't go unnoticed.
it's
Everyone
one of those
saw
things
him.
where I said a while back, like, I don't even know if we're playing this right. I think he's playing it right. I think he's advancing it. I think his grip is correct for it. Like, he has Riley's grip, but he flicks on both sides in this weird manner. The way he defends is a windshield wiper. It's hard to get through him. I think that might be where it goes as time progresses. And he's tricky as fuck. You can reach an extra 3 inches. So I got to give credit to Zane. He said, like, everyone will need the tomahawk at some point. I don't think he meant it necessarily for a ball below the net, but you can do that too. And Utah does it very, very well.
Very interesting. How did he get drafted? Who did he draft?
I don't remember who drafted him, but he was, I said, like I said, the #1 soft tennis player in the world. And I actually went and watched a little soft tennis because I was curious. And all the kids hold it like frying panish and fucking swing righty lefty, like or forehand
What kind
backhand.
of name
like
is soft tennis?
I mean, I'd heard of it, but I've never like seen it. But yeah, he's one of those fast as fuck too.
He's one of those guys too that like reached out to all the teams,
Mhm.
gave his resume directly, told them why he'd be a good fit.
Dude, the guy is wired.
Like he's probably got that work ethic
Oh
and
my
that
God.
determination that
It's
not
crazy.
every player has.
Yeah, and just watch him play one match. He's so hyped every point, and feet are moving, focused. He's in it to win it for sure.
Wow. That's awesome. Excited.
I'm excited for Japanese pickleball.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's it. That's what we have.
Well, I guess I made another bad call. Thanks, guys. Bad calls.
Yeah.
Fucking lot of bad calls here. We got more to come. Love tennis. Super fun. Enjoy Indian Wells this week.
Yes.
You didn't talk about upcoming Cape Coral, your partners.
Well, we talked about that last week.
last week.
Yeah, we did.
A little early.
Don't
Oh,
worry.
this will be after Cape Coral, technically.
No, he's gonna be up
I'm
all
on
night.
it.
He's can't sleep
We
tonight.
also didn't talk about Miami. Everyone loves getting updates about Luke.
I don't know if people really care about my life.
Of course
You
they
want-
do.
Oh,
of course they do.
That's
Luke,
all
they love
anyone
you.
asks me about
Yep.
the pod is what's Luke up to.
Oh,
That
God.
Give a little update, Graham.
I just know that he said he was still recovering from this weekend. What is today? What are we? Wednesday, basically.
It's Tuesday.
but it's
Tuesday.
almost Wednesday.
Yeah, it
And
was
That's
a
gonna
big,
take
it
till
was a
Thursday.
big one.
He's got Thursday till he's a hundo,
Yeah.
and he'll probably like, yeah.
I spent a lot of hours up, a lot of hours dancing.
You looked like you were having a great time.
I was having a fantastic time.
There was plenty of room to
How was
dance at this
Cascade?
festival.
It was the vibes were so good. Everyone was
Really?
so nice.
God damn it.
Considering, Miami is not known for its good
Right.
crowds, but
No, and then
everyone
like,
was so
what is
pleasant.
it? Ultras every year is terrible.
Yeah, and I think it's because Ultra is coming up like next weekend or whatever. So I think that none of the people that do Ultra are going to both back to back. So I just got all the people that really cared about the music
Got it.
that was
Oh, and
going
you
on
had
here.
Cascade. I mean, I think
Yeah.
that again, that genre of EDM
Yeah.
is by far the best genre. It's the melodies.
Cascade
and
was
the
my
ins and
favorite
outs.
set.
Fucking
Oh,
he's
really?
Yeah, they were
he's
fantastic.
the best.
Fantastic.
He's my personal favorite to see.
Yeah.
I've always had
I mean, we were
epic
on
fucking times.
a beach. What could you complain about? It
Not a lot
was
of
great.
things.
Wow.
Not a
It
lot
was
of things.
amazing.
All
yeah.
right.
But now I'm paying for it. So
Hey man,
It is what
fucking
it is.
worth it. Like Ryan Cherry says, if having fun was easy, everyone would do it.
there you go.
Gotta pay the piper. Gotta pay the
Like
fucking
that.
piper.
It is true. Having
true.
fun is not easy.
No, it's not easy. And
It's-
there's
it's a
you
great
pay- you
statement.
pay- it was the best. I think it was like day 4 in Vegas, and let's say he'd been getting after it. I was like, Ryan, just go home, like have a little nap. He was like, listen, Travis,
That's
if
amazing.
having fun was easy, everyone would do it.
Oh,
Sure enough, like
but-
2 hours later, he sent me pictures from the day club. I'm just like, this fucking guy.
by the
Gotta
way,
love him.
we called Ryan Cherry, obviously, to talk to him about being drafted.
Yes.
And I warned Ruben, I was like, this guy's a lot. It's a lot of energy. I'm just going to prepare you for this call. He's like, all right. Ruben, like 1 minute in, was like, what is happening right now? And I'm like, that's Ryan
I
Cherry.
would love to see them go out to dinner together.
We
That'd be
should-
amazing.
We
Just
should have
fly on the
recorded.
wall. Yeah. Because Ruben's trying to get words in, and Ryan just talking over him. And
That would be
that'd
Ryan
fantastic.
brought up 20 different points in about 3 minutes. He was on the road. He was going somewhere crazy. He was getting off a flight.
That's his life, dude.
But
It never ends.
one day we're going to get Sherry somehow.
Do love the fella.
In some
Maybe
capacity.
Maybe spa opening. We got him. Probably another bad call.
Amazing. I
All
love
right.
it. All
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to Back Calls.
Thanks, callers.
We'll see you in
Bad-
Cape Coral.
We got a name for that yet? Callers?
Oh, we were saying
The-
baddies.
Oh, I like
the
baddies. much better.
baddies.
Callers sucks. Thanks, baddies.
Yeah.
Have a
All
good day.
right. See you next week.
Bye.